Welcome once again. I am Deva. Today the topic is about Satyagraha and Gandhiji. The impact of Satyagraha in India and round the globe. I want to quote Leo Tolstoy. When the suffering of another creature causes you to feel pain, don't submit to the initial desire to flee from the suffering one, but on the contrary, come closer, as close as you can to he who suffers and try to help him. The lines of Leo Tolstoy influenced so much on Mahatma Gandhi. He not only coined but also evolved Satyagraha. He deployed this method in South Africa when he stayed from 1894 to 1914. He also deployed Satyagraha in the Indian freedom struggle from 1915 to 1948. Satyagraha means the force which is born of truth and love or non-violence. Based on truth and non-violence, he combined some of the elements from Indian tradition and the Christian requirement of turning the other side of the cheek. It looks like ingenuous, but it is ingenious. The basic tenets of Satyagraha: A. Not to submit to what he considered as wrong. B. Always remain truthful, non-violent and fearless of cooperation and boycott. D. Non-payment of taxes. And E. Declining honors and positions of authority. F. Ready to accept suffering in his struggle against wrongdoer. G. No ill feeling for the wrongdoer. And H. Never bow before the evil, whatever the consequence. And the last one, Satyagraha, not for the weak and cowardly, but for the brave and the strong. Satyagraha was born in South Africa, where Gandhiji witnessed white racism, discrimination and humiliation of the Indian community in South Africa. In 1906, the South African government passed a law against the Indians. They have to carry the registration certificate wherever they used to go. This was against the law when Mahatma Gandhi stood for them. Against the law, they burnt all the registration certificate. Finally, the South African government came onto the table for compromise and settlement. Satyagraha proved its efficacy and it acted as a solvent to the problems of mankind. Satyagraha is the powerful weapon in counteracting against social, political and economic injustice, as well as violent suppression of individual and national freedom. Imposing restrictions on Indian migration, poll tax, which was too much for the Indians. Invalidation of Indian marriages not conducting according Christian rites. Transfer Immigration Act. These above proved very difficulty for the Indians. Because of this indignity, Indians belonging to different religions and classes, men and women, even minors went on strike, and in 1915 Gandhi returned to India. There was a public spirited man called Motilal Bhai who was from Vadhavan, Maharashtra. He asked Gandhi to end the hardship inflicted on the people of Viramgam, which will be an immense service to Saurashtra, the land of his birth. Gandhiji obtained all the detailed information, and he had a talk with Lord Chelmsford. While the talks were going on, he dropped a hint that the people are ready to offer satyagraha at Viramgam. Lord Chelmsford promised to abolish Viramgam customs. This was the first achievement of Gandhi through satyagraha. In 1917, knowing the success of Gandhiji, a local man from Champaran, Rajkumar Shukla, approached Gandhiji and requested him to solve the problems of the Champaran. The issue was the Europeans demanded high rents and illegal dues from the poor peasants instead of Tinkatia, which was the process of taxation before, to maximize their profits. Gandhiji went to Champaran and he probed into the issue. Though the officials ordered him not to come to Champaran, he defied and he was ready to face any consequences or punishment. We can call it this as the first time passive resistance and the inauguration or the beginning of the civil disobedience movement. In Champaran, Gandhiji met the British officials and he convinced them the problems faced by the farmers. The Britishers agreed to abolish Tinkatia and he also requested them to give compensation to the farmers. This was the first achievement of Gandhiji through civil disobedience. In 1918 came the Ahmedabad mill strike, where the workers were in poor condition. Gandhiji asked the workers to go for strike in non-violent method. Next came the Kheda Satyagraha. In 1918, there was a drought in Kheda. The farmers were unable to pay the taxes. They gave a petition to the Britishers to suspend the 1918 tax. But the Britishers were so adamant and threatened the farmers that they will seize their property. Gandhiji called for a satyagraha, and it was so remarkable, united and disciplined. The Britishers agreed to suspend the 1918 tax. In 1990, Gandhiji gave a call for a satyagraha against the Rowlatt Act 1990, which curbed the freedom of expression and strengthened the police powers. Gandhiji criticized this act as devilish and tyrannical and asked the people to observe 6th April as a non-violent day, which was an opposition to this act. The Rowlatt Satyagraha turned out to be the first all-India struggle against the Britishers. On 13th April, Baisakhi Day, General Dyer brutally killed thousands of people in Jallianwala Bagh, which was called as Jallianwala Bagh Massacre. Rabindranath Tagore renounced his knighthood to support Gandhiji's Satyagraha. In 1920, the Britishers passed a harsh imposition on Turkish Sultan called Khalifa. It ignited the Muslims and the Khilafat movement started with the full-fledged non-cooperation movement, which was supported by Gandhiji. He also supported against the Punjab wrongdoing by the Britishers and demanded for complete Swaraj. Khilafat movement became a mass movement or people movement. Students left the government controlled schools. Lawyers gave up their practices. British titles were surrendered. Legislatures boycotted. People publicly burned the foreign clothes and goods. Now the non-cooperation movement became a mass movement. Gandhiji became messiah for the poor people. They fought against Jamindars, and the poor agricultural labor believed that he will provide land for them. In 1922, there was a Chauri Chaura incident where the peasants were agitating in front of the police station. The police provoked by firing on them. The peasants got enraged and they burnt the police station. Gandhiji abruptly called off the agitation because it became violent. In 1930, there was the Dandi March, which is very famous. It was 24 days march from Sabarmati to a coastal place called Dandi. Gandhiji called for that Dandi March, or it was called as Salt Satyagraha, because he was against the monopoly of the state manufacturing salt and sale. People from all sections, peasants, tribals, women, children, all participated, and they walked nearly for 240 miles. The Britishers tried to curb the agitators, the Satyagrahis, brutally, but the support for Mahatma Gandhi was growing. In 1942, he called Quit India movement with the slogan "Do or Die." Mahatma Gandhi's principles were so simple, but it was very effective. He knew that the mass were illiterate, and he touched all the hearts of the poor people of India and made a mass movement through Satyagraha. Satyagraha is nothing but a truth, or a person who believes in truth, that truth which he followed for himself and made others to follow it. The Indian independence movement had witnessed the heyday of Gandhian non-violent actions, that is Satyagraha. But the ripples it left behind had touched the millions of Indians. It also influenced in different parts of the world today. Martin Luther King Jr. said once, Jesus Christ gave the principles, Gandhiji gave the means. He was very much influenced by Gandhi. Martin Luther King's James Bevel started the civil rights movement in America. He was a Negro, and under him many Negroes fought for their rights. Khan Abdul Ghaffar Khan, who is also known as Frontier Gandhi, was a strong proponent of non-violence. He taught the compatibility of Islam and Satyagraha. He followed the non-violence and he achieved many things in Pakistan. One of the great leaders, Dr. Nelson Mandela of South Africa, who fought against the white people, he was the staunch supporter of Gandhi. He was influenced by the non-violent methods. Satyagraha is a priceless and matchless weapon. It could be a potent instrument in facing even in external aggression. The problems which we are facing nowadays, the world which is threatened by wars, the world which is threatened by terrorism, it can only be resolved by Satyagraha. Satyagraha remains exemplary as a political action and is transferable as a human experience from one tradition of thoughts to another. Okay friends, then Satyagraha is a seed that can grow and flourish around the globe. It is you have to carry the principles which makes us happy. Thank you very much. We'll meet in the next audio or video. Until then, goodbye. Namaste.